Back here at home, meanwhile, the debate over immigration enforcement intensifying after 5-year-old Liam and his father, detained during an ICE operation in Minnesota, held in Texas, are back home tonight. Their immediate release ordered by a federal judge. And new video into our newsroom tonight from Minnesota showing weapons drawn as federal agents detain a U.S. citizen. She was recording their movements from her car when she was cut off, pulled out of her vehicle, and handcuffed. The Department of Homeland Security calling her an agitator. As questions continue to mount and tensions remain high in Minneapolis, NewsNation's Mills Hayes is live on the ground at the site of a vigil happening right now for Alex Preddy tonight. Mills.
Hi, Natasha. Well, the crowd here has dispersed a little bit. There were more than 200 people out here at this vigil for Alex Preddy. You can see that there is candles and signs for this man who actually worked at this hospital as an ICU nurse helping veterans. And we did hear from Senator Amy Klobuchar as well as other Minnesota leaders on the ground here tonight saying that the fight continues against this immigration enforcement surge. Outside of the Minneapolis VA hospital, people gathered for a vigil to honor Alex Preddy. Similar vigils planned nationwide. The DOJ has opened a civil rights investigation into Preddy's death, calling it standard protocol, but declining to open one for Renee Good's death.
But understand, because we've been told by the federal government they aren't doing an investigation, well, how else are we going to get to the truth unless we launch our own and we are as thorough and transparent as possible?
Democratic members on the House Judiciary Committee calling on the DOJ to answer why they're not doing a civil rights probe into the killing of Good. This, as 5-year-old Liam Ramos and his dad are now back in Minneapolis after spending a week in a Texas detention facility. Texas Congressman Joaquin Castro flying with the two, writing, "Thank you to everyone who demanded freedom for Liam. We won't stop until all children and families are home."
Absolutely, he should be back home. Yeah, he didn't belong there. It wasn't right.
This comes after federal judge Fred Beery, a Clinton appointee, said Ramos and his father must be released. The judge calling the Trump administration's attempts to deport them, quote, perfidious lust for unbridled power, and saying the case has its genesis in the ill-conceived and incompetently implemented government pursuit of daily deportation quotas, apparently even if it requires traumatizing children. Secretary Noem responding this morning.
There's no quotas, and let me be clear, these families always get the opportunity to stay together. This child has been with his father, which was the father's choice. We offered them the opportunity to go home, to send them back to their home country if they would like to. The father chose to stay.
The family, originally from Ecuador, reportedly had a pending asylum case and no deportation orders when they were picked up. Liam's father telling ABC News they want to remain in the U.S. and are scared to return to Ecuador. But Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said there's a meaningful dispute about whether they had properly applied for asylum. And today, February 1st, federal funding will begin to be cut off for so-called sanctuary cities and states. The White House now coordinating across agencies to identify what federal funds are currently being spent as the administration moves to implement that policy. And President Trump has described his goal clearly, including what he wants from places like Minnesota.
What we want in Minnesota, we want them to open their jails and give us their criminals, and we're gone. That's all we want.
Trump has not specified which locations will be affected by this, but the Department of Justice does have a list on their website of sanctuary jurisdictions, including the state of Minnesota, as well as other major cities like Los Angeles and Chicago that could be affected as well, Natasha.
Mills Hayes, live in Minneapolis, tracking that for us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.